I hope you can hear me now. But yeah, so a little bit off the mic. So this was just me a little bit playing the piano because today will be a lot more relaxed. And yeah, I was just doing some piano stuff here. And I hope you heard that at all. If not, I mean, yeah, that is just me playing piano. But on to different topics. Today I will do something with something which is a preparation for the video which will be coming out. I hope this week, maybe next week. I'm not sure about cyclic symmetry. And you know the thing is, and that's a lot of times that's the case. I start something and then I have gotten to a point where I need something which requires either a lot of manual work or a script. And I'm type of guy who goes for a script almost every time because yeah, you learn so much doing that, and it makes your life much more easier if you have to do it repeatedly. So I don't see any point why not. So let me introduce you to my newest tool, which is not done and not finished and not polished and by far not good, but it is about getting from multiple output files the objective values. So what do I mean? You remember maybe the cyclic symmetry. We did a bunch of symmetry conditions for the optimizations, and I will show that to you in a second. So that was that one. So I just played around with different symmetry conditions, like cyclic, plane symmetry, whatever. And the outcomes were different, right? And for sure, I would want to know the different outputs. So let's see. If we go to just an output file, like so, for example, this one, if I'm opening that, so I have to close all that stuff here. As always, I'm not super prepared. Okay. No, I don't want to save. No. Okay. So this would be a normal output file you will get. And there you can see the different iterations, and you will see different stuff. I've got a comment, sorry. By the way, nice piano playing. Thank you. I don't know why your channel is not getting much visibility or views on YouTube. I am a Hyperworks suit user, and I see your work on the TCL TK is awesome. Thanks again. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, so the piano thing is pretty new, I must say, and live streaming in general is pretty new. So I don't do that for very long, but I try to just experiment a little bit with it. So this is why I start such things like today. And yeah, so we will get into it. But thanks for the nice comments. And I never did much of the music, but if you bother my videos, the outro music plays, that's all done by me. And it's also a new thing, I have to say. So I'm playing piano, or at least with the computer and stuff like that, for maybe a year or so. Well, I've played piano since I was a child, but more on off and not too much focus. And I cannot play any classical stuff. But yeah. So thanks for the nice comment. Yeah, really appreciate it. Yeah, so where were we? Output file. So you see this output file and you can see, all right, you have iterations, and there you have the objective function, which in this case is a minimization of the weighted compliance, and you have a value here, and you have also percent of change here. And so what I would have to do is to just compare those different simulations. I would have to go to each file, scroll down, go to the end of the file, forget the shortcut, yeah. Go to the end of the file, see what last iteration objective function I have gotten. So this would be the value. I have to save that value and then go to the next file and do it over and over and over and over again. So now I said to myself, screw that. Let's make a script which just extracts in one folder, multiple runs, every objective of every out file. And yeah, and I wanted to do this also as an exercise to just apply the stuff I have learned during the last couple of weeks or so, because my friend and I, we both have done some professional Python course on YouTube also. And yeah, so I wanted to try, yeah, apply that once more just to get it more, to do it by heart and not just in the brain. You know what I mean? So yeah, so this will be regarding scripting. It will be over the top. I mean, if you just want to have a simple script, the easiest solution would be this much of code. It would be damn ugly, to be fair, really ugly, with, I don't know, 10 levels of indentation and stuff like that. And I had that file in the beginning. And so this will be much more overhead, but on the flip side, you will have the possibility to just expand that code easierly in the future. So this is more or less the point. Now, what did I choose to do here? If I just close all the editors here for a second, because it's too much here. So I created a repository on GitHub. It's public, and there's not anything in here, so I did not commit it. I did not commit the first batch here, so it's still on in progress. But what I did is I created this repository called Hyperworks tools. Yeah, I had the typo in here as well. Oh my god! Don't say it's on GitHub as well, please. Let me quickly check, because I have to just correct that as soon as possible. So, where are my repositories? Your repositories. So you cannot see that right away. I will show it in a second. Yeah, for sure I did. I misspelled it. Oh my god. I'm sorry. So, Hyperworks tools. Yeah, could also be a thing, but I don't know. So, I have to change that quickly. I'm not sure if I destruct anything. So it's a good thing that nobody used that before. So I think that's a good thing. And now I have one commit. No, this is the initial commit. Yeah, so it's just the readme stuff. But so I have to change that here as well. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Let's see, can I just open that in the file explorer? And then I will just rename that here. Could be a huge mistake here if I cannot commit it, but yeah, I don't think that's the case. Let's see. Yeah, cannot do that. All right, close it again and open it again. All right, so open folder. I should know the shortcuts by now. I'm still a little bit Hyperworks tools, yeah. Yeah, seems good now. So Hyperworks tools. So I created this repository and I meant to do some more stuff in here. So not just the things I have done until now, which is exactly what I was talking about with the objectives, but I tried to do a command line interface, and that's yeah. So you know, maybe if you are in the age category I am currently in, so then you know the old computer command line tools, or the first games where you had a text and you would have to choose, do you go right or left, and is there a goblin, what do you do, whatever. So command line interfaces is a basic input-output interface with the user. So your terminal is a command line interface in some sort. It's an access, and you have your words and what you can write, and you have commands, and and stuff like that. So there's so if you don't know what a command line interface is, that's sort of what it is. And I try to build something similar here, and there's a lot going on here, but I will not go into the detail of everything because I don't think it's too much of interest for you. But let's just say you have the CLI level where you have a root, which is, yeah, so I have this, the wrong interpreter. Let's me quickly change that to the poetry. Yeah, so you don't have the strange lines here. Yeah, so you have an entry point, which is some sort of a root file here. And in this case, it has an app, which is using Typer interface, and Typer is command line interface. That does not really concern you as a user of the tool, but just that you know what it has. And then you can register commands. And this is what I was talking about, expandability. So later on, I can expand this code by another command and stuff like that very easily. And so this is the target on here. So you see that besides the CLI, you have here post and pre. So I started with post commands because out file extraction is really a post command, and you can see here out file extractor that has the methods we will be using. And then you have a data structure package where you will find the out file class, where you can just simply get objective. And I really must say, if you have coded before, and if you have the chance to access GitHub Copilot, my God, my jaw has dropped. I mean, seriously, that thing is a monster, because you just have to write a comment which summarizes what you want to do, and it will spit out the almost perfect function for that. And so you will be really faster with Copilot, and that helped me a lot. And you see that doc strings are all nice and all of the same format. I don't have to worry about whatever PEP8 says. How do I format that doc string? It's yeah, it's the same here. Yeah, it should be, right? So for example here, column. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, what I was talking about. So let's say how to use it. There's this task file, and I even want to simplify that, but the easiest way to use it is if you download the repository in the current state, you would have something like this. And if you have a console, which I always forget about the shortcut for, because I have an English keyboard. It's not control and Ö letter. It's control and I think apostrophe or tilde. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it somehow worked. Okay, so I have a terminal here, and what you can do is use task. Task, or task file, I should say, is a neat little way. You would have to install that, and I have to document that in the README. If I haven't and you want to use it, please knock on my door. But I hope to have that documented with the first release. So task file is a binary. You would have to download and install. I can also simply show that to you what I mean with that. And what it lets you do is it lets you summarize the commands for easier execution. So instead of having to type all this, or for the installation to type all this, you would have to simply write task and then install, for example. Yeah, and then it will install it. And oh my God, I have broken something. Yeah, let's see if I can just delete the environment to just do it from scratch. Because I think the renaming of the parent folder was not that much of a good idea. At least it was not a good idea for doing it right here. Yeah. So I have to do that manually. Sorry about that. 1 minute or 1 second. I will just simply delete the venv, and the venv, that is the virtual environment. And I hope that by doing so, I can now install it once again, and the virtual environment will be created. So in that case, I would have to select a different interpreter, not the virtual environment, because that's not there anymore, but then I will use just my basic conda one. And now let's, but that doesn't matter really for task, right? Task install should now install a new virtual environment. And whatever, yes. So it will, now this is the cool thing. If you're not a coder, you will not appreciate it. But if you are, you will, I hope. Because poetry is so nice. Poetry lets you define the dependencies, really neat. It's, in my opinion, better than the venv tool from Python, because it lets you, by default, specify the dev dependencies, the development dependencies, and the normal user dependencies independently. And you don't have to create different environments for development and user and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's far easier. And you will just specify in this toml file, you will just specify what you need. And this is also an interactive process. So it will ask you in a guided way to what should you use and stuff like that. And then you type that in, and then you have it. And you can also configure how your formatter works, your linter, and stuff like that within here. Not everything, because flag 8, this line will not work, but then you have a flag 8 line here with the max line. Yeah, I'm getting lost in the details. So going back here, what I just did, I installed the package, all the packages which are needed for this to run, as I specified it. And now I can run it. And to run it, I can just look again in the task file. So the run option here is the CLI, command line interface. So you can do just task CLI. And now, look at that. It will not ask you to type -- help, but because I specified it automatically that this will come. And thanks a bunch to Cody for pointing this out. This is so cool. Sorry, I'm getting hyped a little bit, but yeah, it's the nerdy stuff again hitting. But you see, you're getting help instructions. So you see there's an objectives command, and this is exactly what I have been doing. So there's not really a help menu, there's not really text, but let's say if you just do objectives. Objectives. I cannot type. Who? Ah, yeah, this is a task thing. You would have to -- before giving any arguments. So, and this is also listed here. So task CLI -- and then the arg. This should give the same thing as the help. Yeah. No. Okay, so specifying args. Let's say you have this objective, right? Objective. It will complain about a missing argument called path. And that's because I specified it that way. And there's another thing I have to point out here, but let me just simply put in a path here. We had that folder I showed you minutes ago, where all our symmetry runs were, right? So this one. And we can now just copy the link to that folder and paste that in here. And now this will not work. Why? Because task is stupid and cannot recognize that you have backslashes for path separations. And I think this is an issue, and maybe it's resolved in the current version, but I think as far as I know, it isn't. So you could use forward slashes, change to Linux, or use double backslashes. That works too. So if I now press enter, I should now execute this option, and you see here, I mean, it's pretty simple right now, but you see, for every run, you will see the objective of whatever is reached. Now let's see if that's even right. So let's check the first one. So cyclic moment 5%. Oh my god, it does not list the folder. That's a little bit, yeah. Symmetry moment. So this is not here. No. Yeah. Moment 5%, right? Cyclic symmetry moment 5%. And I have now the one plane symmetry. I'm not sure which one is it. But this one should be here. One plane symmetry. It's not here. Yeah, it is. Now let's check this one, right? So 0.0527. And if I go to the out file, go back down and 0.0527. So this works. All right. So just in case you're wondering how this is done, it's fairly simple, but it could be a good thing or good thing to start your coding career if you want. So it all is about getting the files, and then here this method get objective. This will give yeah, you have the file already, you have the lines of the file, and now you search for iteration. And if you have iteration, it will scan the next 10 lines. And if there is the objective function in it, it will split and just go to the value after the equal sign, and we'll just take that back and convert it to a float and return that. And because it does that through the whole file, you will get the last value, which, when I think about it, it's not the perfect way of doing it. So let's say you would have a really large file with tens of thousands of iterations, right? Then you would rather do it from the opposite side, going from back to top or from bottom to top, and then pick the first one, right? So that would be a better solution for it. But you know, I mean, it's yeah, it's in the making, right? So yeah, and now what I wanted to show, or what I wanted to do today, is to go a little bit into the linting process. So linting means scanning your code for vulnerabilities, or I would not say vulnerabilities, but for weaknesses, and to just make your code a little bit better. And there are some linters, some typical linters you could use. The one we're using here is, I think, PyLint. And you see, I have this task lint. This lints the code and reports on issues. So you would have different commands. For example, poetry run black, that's a formatter. And you check also if the formatter found something and would have changed something, that it will abort here and ask you to just format the file. And then flag 8, I think that's first linter. I'm not, no, now it's a little bit embarrassing. What was the purpose of flag 8? Because PyLint is doing the actual linting, and flag 8 I think is also doing some linting, but I think that's style guide. Yeah. You know, PEP 8 and stuff like that. So there are certain rules how you should format your code and style your code, and you would have doc strings in a particular manner. For every class, you would have a doc string and such things. And that would, for example, do something like that. And PyLint is the actual linter that would do something like that too, right? So it will check and lint your code and ask you to change something if it found some weaknesses, right? So this is the case. Now, task lint. If I just simply start that, you will see all done. 8 files would be left unchanged, so it is all good for black. It's all good for the style guide flag 8 as well. So it found 0 errors or so, and here, or exited with code 0, I think is a better description. And now PyLint. PyLint always punches you in the face. So really, this is mild now. So, but actually, it's just one function. I mean, yeah, but okay, now let's go through them, and we will learn about what we could do better. So, for example, here, Hyperworks tool CLI post commands in line 8 has missing functional method docstring. Okay, so I go there. So I have def objectives. Okay, so this is basically the CLI commands objectives, and that does just print out the path. Actually, I don't know if that's even necessary. And then it creates the class outFile extractor. And this class itself has a printing, which is definitely not a good solution, to be fair. But I will leave it like that for now. So, because it's debug. So what the linter is complaining about is the docstring. It has no docstring. And now let's use the power of GitHub CLI or GitHub Copilot. Not CLI, GitHub Copilot. All right. So it misses a docstring. So what I do here is I will, yeah, exactly that. I will create 3 lines of comments because that's a multi-line comment. And now, hey, give it to me. Give this damn string to me. Yeah, you can just almost blindly accept. Extracts the out files from the given path and prints objective. See? I mean, what the hell? That's so accurate. And yeah, it could have said that it prints the path as well, right? Oh my god, I've just now realized I have a use of a print function. My friend Cody would now punch me in the face because you would not ever want to print out to standard out your user bollocks, right? So you would want to have that to the standard error or typo.echo. That is also working fine. Now it has no typer. I think I should first I should use uppercase letter and then import typer. Ah, it's not uppercase. Sorry, it's lowercase because it's a package typer. Package typer echo. Okay, now this is done. On to the next. Now we're coming into the out file extractor. So what do we have here? We have a missing class docstring. So not only every method should have a docstring, but the class itself too. Let's say I think this will not get what? No, this is definitely not right. Or is it that you should define your docstring above the classes? Not sure. So no, that doesn't make any sense. Whoa. Let's kill that. I'm not sure. Is it that you would define a docstring here? Yeah, seems like it. Okay, let's try that. We will see if the code is recognized or not. So you see, class to extract objective function values from a folder containing out files. Actually, I don't like it to have it here. I will just try to search for where to put it. Docstring class. Where to put Python docstrings. Yeah. Let's see. To have a class. Come on, the class. Yeah, Python objects and classes. Yeah, for sure it's below it. I mean, what have I been thinking? Because you would want to have it. What? Ah, sure. You would want to have it one line indented, and so like this, right? So, all right. You could have a module docstring because you have maybe multiple classes in one file, one module, could say, and then you would have be confused because you would have a docstring of the class, but it's outside the class. So no, that doesn't make any sense. So you have docstrings inside functions belonging to the functions. You have a docstring inside a class belonging to that class. That makes sense. All right, missing docstring is solved. Method get out files should have self as first argument, no self argument. Oh, it does not. Okay, it's all okay. Let's have a self in here. I mean, that's an easy fix, right? So there's not much to it. Too few public methods. Ugh, I don't like those. Um, yeah, you have an initialize and you have get alt files. So this is not really. And the init is, yeah, that does not belong to. So we should have to think about a different, but no, I'm not doing that right now. And standard import from typing import list should be placed before. Yeah, see, import order makes a difference. So it should be placed from data structure. So yeah, I think typo should be placed also above it. So first of all, you would have general libraries and then your own classes. So that makes sense. All right. Now let's see. The out file has also something. Consider using with for resource allocating operations. Yeah, that makes sense. So whenever you would have a file operations stuff, then yeah, this actually doesn't make any sense to me to have that even on there. Let's say we make it like that. Yeah. We do it like with open and as read, and let's specify an encoding. Won't you give it? Yeah, doesn't matter. UTF-8 as file. Yeah, that's okay. Use that here too. And if we wanted to have the file in that manner, we could use something like that, right? So, because you read it in, and then you assign it to the file property here, you have to read lines. Yeah, you could, I don't know. It looks a little bit better to me like that. Self.file.readlines. Yeah. All right. Now that is done. Consider using enumerate instead of iterating with range and len. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but actually that was a, yeah, we will not blame GitHub Copilot for it. So, and you will get always the value and the counter as well. Can do it like that. So we would not use I here, right? Should work as same. Let's see. We'll just run the thing again. Oh no! No. Oh, what did I miss? I have a path here. Get output files. Oh, okay. This has one missing stuff. Get output files. Get out files. Where is that? That should be here. So this has self, and where this is used, yeah. Okay. So in this case, this would be a self dot get output files. All right, nothing big. All right, it still works, but it does not work because we have zeros everywhere. And that, you see now, this is why you would want to have test functions, and that's not done yet. But you see that I screwed up the code. And let's see where I did that. So seems like this did something to it. So we could use this. Let's see if that works. No, there's something up. Yeah. There's something. Read that? Yeah, I think this is the thing. We would want to have the self.file. No, okay, no. Yeah, actually that does not make any sense. Huh. We assign it here, and then maybe we will just simply use it here. So this, but you would. I don't like it. Let's go for that. So this is actually not the file, but it's rather the file content. And the file content then can be split into lines. Because why I want to have that out of that inner thing, because everything which is defined here is thrown out of the window once this indent is gone. So I think this is why it caused it to fail. Miss content. Let's see. Yeah, so now it works again. And it's still the same thing, right? With the plane symmetry. Yeah. Yeah, but now I want to see if this works still, but I think not. To be honest, I think this will not work. If you just have the file and do the read here, this will have an input-output error because you had closed the file. Yeah, so this is not a thing. Ah, that's too much. File content. Yeah, this would work. And what about with that? This is, I think, then with zeros. No, this works too. You know, screw all that. Let's just use no self here, but just file.read.split lines, because I mean, no. Ugh. Like that. It's cleaner, right? And it works too. All right, so this is done. Now it gets back to the linting. See what we have still missing. And you will get a score, right? You will get a score which is something from 10. 10 is the maximum amount. Okay, we will skip the too few public methods today. Variable name f doesn't conform to the snake case naming style invalid name. Oh my god. Okay, it's too short. I think that's the problem. So we could use file and then file here too. And I think if we now lint it again, this should go away. Hopefully. Yeah, now we're not too far from 10, right? So this is okay for me today. So we could use now two different methods, but this will come when the code evolves. And yeah, so next thing would be testing, but I will not bother you with tests. So I was just simply showing to you how to use the code. So you would have to specify it like this: task CLI, then objectives, that would be the command. And then you have a path to a folder where different kind of simulations are run, and the result files are there. And if you have it like this and you run it, you will get every objective of every out file you will have in the last iterations. And you see that you can expand that quite easily to having also the element distribution from the densities and whatever. So this will grow in the future. But you may have noticed that there's not just post but pre as well. And pre, I maybe want to include, for example, you know, this code I was using for generating a simple OptiStruct model in 2D and in 3D. Now, let's just say I would just do that with the pre. And so let's just have a CLI command tool where you could add a, I don't know, build model. And then as a parameter, you could do 2D and optimization. So for example, you would just simply go task CLI, build model, 2D optimization. If you would have this parameters, it will give you the TCL code you would have to copy and paste just in your hypermesh. And then you have this model. And even going one step further, if you would just take a simple TCL interface, which I have already done in Python, so I just could copy paste that onto here as well, you could just launch Hyperworks and build that model up. So you could go task CLI, create model, 2D optimization, and it will build up that model for you. I think that would be quite good. And so I want to just maybe go in this direction and play around a little bit with it. And all that just because I started wondering about, I don't really want to extract every objective of every output file here. I want to have that as a script. Well, let's build a script for that. All right, I have built a script. Could that be more general? That maybe more functionality is in, and other people could use that too. Maybe let's build a CLI tool from it. And that's the starting point of this journey here. So it's just a basic start, right? It's nothing fancy. And I don't know how much time I can spend on updating it and enhancing it with new functions. But I think whenever I have the task of doing something which is related to Hypermesh and doing some data extraction or something like that, I will just code a simple script and put it in there. And I think that could be beneficial maybe a couple of months down the road. And then it will have maybe a nice package and will have different options. I think for the pre functions I just talked about, that could be pretty cool because, I mean, let me talk about a little bit that. If you don't mind me telling you this just stories. So if you have any questions or comments we could talk about, but it's coming to an end, this video, I think. So yeah, you can just post them. But let's just think about it for a moment. How many times have you started Hypermesh? And the first thing what you want to do is want to right-click, create material, right-click, create property, right-click, create component, and stuff like that. And then you link them. And the same thing with optimization. I mean, how often did I just create a topology optimization with minimization of weighted compliance, and I have a volume frag which is constrained to 0.3, whatever, and I have one load case or two load cases with equal weightings, and that's it, right? How often did I just click that? Now just imagine if you could specify with a few keywords what you want to do. And it will give out the TCL commands. It will just open Hypermesh, going through the TCL commands and building up that model as a basis for you to then load in the geometry, then assign the properties to it, mesh it, and you would have, I don't know, a lot less to do manually. And that's the goal I have. And I think this is pretty good for the first time. So what I wanted to say is, if you have to do that once, I mean, there's not much of a thing to do a script about it. But yeah, if you do that multiple times, the time savings are much bigger. So yeah, this is about it for my motivations on how to do that, or why I did that, or why did I start that. But it has not be limited to this kind of functionality. So we now have a little bit of post-processing and a little bit of pre-processing, right? Creating models and stuff. But you could think about enhancing the functionality, yeah, even more. Maybe include some simple macros with it and just launch it with TCL. And maybe it has a graphical user interface and stuff like that. I don't know. It's a little bit of discussion about how far things go, but it's a start, and I would encourage you to just take part and take advantage of this opportunity if you want to, and if it has some benefits for you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to do that, and this has been now more or less the content of this video. I'm not sure. I have thought about doing a little bit of another code stream, right? Which has nothing to do with Hyperworks. Not 100% sure if I should do it today because it's rather late already, and it was a long day. But you know, the advent of code. So you get every day a coding task challenge and stuff like that. So that could be pretty interesting because I wanted to learn a new language. I'm pretty okay with Java and Python, but I have never touched Go Golang, really. I will not try Rust. I would like, but also my frustration level or tolerance has a limit. And Rust is pretty hard on you, to be fair, because yeah, I'm a spoiled kid to what this is concerned. I have just worked with languages where I don't have to do proper memory allocations and stuff. So C++ is also kind of new for me. I know the concepts about pointers and stuff, but I really don't know about how you build your own garbage collector. So yeah. So yeah, to wrap things up, I will just launch another live stream in a couple of minutes. Do some relaxing exercises in between. Play a little bit more piano for you guys, and then we'll take on with Golang. I think I will do that. If you're up to it and want to join me and want to see how I struggle learning a new language, yeah, welcome. And if not, I hope you had a joy and a good time watching here. And if you have any questions, comments, I will be around. So yeah, just post them in the comment sections or send me an email. So I'm available. And yeah, talk to you later, guys. See ya. Bye bye. All right, guys, I hope you liked it. Yeah, see you soon.